Andre Braugher has died. He was 61. Obviously, here in the picture, you can see who he was. He was most known for Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Homicide: Life on the Street. I've never seen Homicide: Life on the Street. Actually, my first experience, the first thing that I saw Andre Braugher in was Frequency, which was a movie, I think, in like 2003. Who was it? Was it Jim Caviezel? Yeah, it was Jim Caviezel and Dennis Quaid, and it was a time travel story about a son who's able to talk to his dead father from 30 years in the past using a ham radio during an aurora borealis. And it's actually a great story about a relationship between a father and son. I highly recommend that movie. And Andre Braugher plays a cop in it. He plays a cop who is a family friend. And I remember really liking him in that role. And I don't think I saw him in a whole lot else until Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine came out. And when that came out, Parks and Rec had just ended, and I was definitely looking for something to fill that hole, and it fit very nicely. Now, there has always been talk about, yes, it is propaganda. Now, and I didn't finish the series. I think I stopped watching right around the time that Fox had canceled it, but then it was picked up on another network. I don't have all of the details on that. Again, like, I kind of just fell off of watching it, and it is my understanding that in the wake of George Floyd that they did retool the show to be a more open critique of policing. And if that's the case, that's good. But Andre Braugher played the police chief, Captain Holt, who was a gay man. And it's funny, he played that character so well. I kept seeing people saying that Andre Braugher himself was gay, but he wasn't. He was a straight man. He played the role pretty well. And I have to say that, speaking as a gay, we claim him. Okay, he's gay in death, if not in life. It's really sad to see. I think it was just announced that he had died of lung cancer, which is a horrible way to go. I don't know if he was a smoker or if it was just so happened, but that sounds really awful. And at 61, that's very young to die. It's very sad. I really liked him. And the way he played things in a way where, like, on the surface, it doesn't look like he has too much depth. He played a lot of cops, right? His two best known roles are in Homicide: Life on the Street and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's playing cops in them. The first thing I saw him in, he was playing a cop. So he's a bit of a character actor. He plays cops. But Captain Holt had such a dynamic range to him, even though, for the most part, he is just talking like this. He's speaking in a very matter-of-fact tone of voice, and he is basically a gay robot. But there's, like, just little bits and pieces where he drops the facade and, like, allows himself to emote. They're just wonderful, delightful moments. He always played them so well. He was always writing that line in the show where you weren't sure if he was going to give you a stern talking to or he was going to break out in a cheer and join in on your childish antics. I loved the character of Holt, and I don't know. It's really sad to see him go. Share your favorite memories of Andre Braugher in the comments below. The Leftist Owl says this is Gen Z's Robin Williams moment. Has Robin Williams been dead? When did Robin Williams die? He died August 11th, 2014. So he died 9 years ago. Geez, it really has been that long. Man, I gotta say, I am still not over Robin Williams' death. That guy was my childhood. And, sure, why not? Why don't I, even though it's Andre Braugher who just died, if we're talking about, remembering actors who really left a mark on us, one of my favorite Robin Williams stories is, what was his name? There was an actor on Battlestar Galactica, Aaron Douglas. Aaron Douglas played Chief Turl on Battlestar Galactica. He was one of the final 5 Cylons. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen the show. But Battlestar Galactica was filming in Vancouver, BC. And so Aaron Douglas didn't get out to Los Angeles much. But one day he was in LA walking down the street and Robin Williams walks past him. And he just kind of like makes eye contact with Robin Williams and just gives him a nod and keeps going. Robin Williams, smiles again and keeps going. Robin Williams gets about half a block away, stops, turns around, points at him and goes, "Battlestar Galactica!" Because I'm guessing it took him about half a block to realize, wait, I've seen him in something. What have I seen him in? And he comes running right up to Aaron Douglas, grabs his hand, starts shaking it vigorously, and says, Battlestar Galactica is one of the best shows I've ever seen. You're doing great work in it. I love it so much. It's such an important show right now. And just like completely love bombing Aaron Douglas here. And Aaron, he's like, look, I've been a fan of Robin Williams my whole life, and he just keeps trying to get a word in, like, Mr. Williams, I have to say I'm a huge fan. And Robin Williams kept saying, no, that is not what we're doing here. We're talking about you. Right now, this is your day. And all of these people are just walking by going, who the hell is that guy Robin Williams is fanboying over? But, oh, what a great way to treat someone. Like, when you're Robin Williams, when you're as big a star as Robin Williams, and you're talking to somebody who's like a fifth tier character on a sci-fi show on basic cable, and you're gushing over him like that. And basically every story I ever heard of Robin Williams was some variety of that. So yeah, I'm still not over Robin Williams, but that is my favorite Robin Williams story. Leftist Owl says my favorite Captain Holt moment was Bone. That was indeed a good one. Yeah, no, whenever Holt would get actually angry was always very funny. One of the quotes from Robin Williams that I do have from him is "Help is on the way, dear. Help is on the way." What one's that one from? I don't remember that one. Leftist Al says Robin was a fucking treasure, a shame and never met him before he passed. Oh man. Okay, I guess we're just gonna talk about like dead celebrities that affected us. When Chester Bennington died, he was one of the lead singers in Linkin Park. It really hit something for me because I hadn't really paid attention to Linkin Park in a while, and for a long time I had thought that they were kind of cringe because I was really into them in high school when they were first coming out, and then everyone was making fun of them for being like the originators of emo, basically. And so for a long time it was very in vogue to just, make fun of Linkin Park. And one year I went to BlizzCon, and Linkin Park was the closing act for the closing ceremony they were playing. And so I had the opportunity to see them in concert. But me and my friends, we decided, no, you know what? Why don't we just leave early and get a head start on the road trip back home? Because BlizzCon's in Anaheim. I live in Seattle. So that's like a 17-hour drive. Some people had to be back at work in 2 days. So we skipped it. That was the last opportunity I ever had to see Linkin Park, and I didn't get to because Chester died a few years later. And so I keep thinking about that every once in a while. You do remember Robin Williams being the genie from Disney? Of course, everyone remembers Robin Williams being the genie from Disney. Honestly, that's kind of like one of the best parts of his legacy and one of the worst parts of his legacy, because that basically set the stage for how animation was going to sell itself on big star talent rather than on the animation itself, which was expressly against Robin Williams' wishes too. He did that movie for scale, which means he didn't ask the Robin Williams pay rate. He asked the pay rate that any voice actor, any old voice actor who nobody knows, would be paid for that. He did Disney a solid in giving them a phenomenal performance at a bargain rate. But as part of that agreement, they weren't supposed to advertise the film based on his presence in it, and they did all of that, and it broke his trust in the company for a long time, and he was very bitter about that. Leftist Al says Neil Peart's passing hurt a lot. Yeah, I can see that one. Okay, even get me started on the dead drummers that inspired me. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I guess this is a more melancholic section, I guess. But like every once in a while, and actually I remember seeing this a lot when Robin Williams passed, is that, people were talking about their memories of meeting Robin Williams. They were all relating to him as to how he personally touched their lives. And I remember seeing a criticism on Twitter at the time, back in 2014, where somebody was like, everybody here is making Robin Williams' death about them, and when it really should be about him. And I fundamentally disagree with the mindset that would bring you to have that conclusion. When Robin Williams died, he ceased to exist as his own person. When we remember the dead, we are remembering who they were to us. I think it is totally valid when somebody dies for you to talk about your experience with them, how they affected your life, because that is their enduring legacy. They say you die twice, once when you breathe your last breath and once when somebody says your name for the last time. And Sure, obviously Robin Williams meant something completely different to his family than he meant to the world, because we didn't personally know Robin Williams. We knew him as a performer. We had a parasocial investment in him. But like, I think that is totally valid. I think it is totally valid when somebody famous dies for you to take a moment to make your mourning of him a little bit about yourself, because the piece of him that's living on is the piece of him in yourself. So when celebrities like this die and it means something to you, you should share it. I think it's fine. I think it honors their memory. You know, don't go like tagging their family members or anything like that. Like that's too much. That's presumptuous. But just, you know, on social media, just talk about your fond memories of that person, what they mean to you, what their death meant to you. I think that's all very important. I think that's all very valid. I think it should be encouraged. I think it's good. Parasociality is often treated as a bad word. And I don't think parasociality is inherently good or bad, just like I don't think any kind of social relationship is inherently good or bad. It's how you engage with it. And I think if an actor's death has left you so distraught, it's like you've lost a personal friend, you might want to re-examine the ways that you're engaging with celebrity culture, but it's totally fine to be sad when an actor you liked and respected passes, and it's totally fine to share your thoughts on that. Sly Deathful says, everyone is being sad about people that inspire them, but I'm just over here getting flirted with by witches. That's fine. Well, listen, when one of those witches dies and you're sad about it, I will commiserate with you. Dragon Eye Dragonboard says, I remember that I think Robin Williams did a joke about Viagra. I'm sure that he did far more than one about Viagra. Leftist Alice says, Robin also had it in his contracts that the studio had to employ homeless people. I hadn't heard that. That's really fucking cool. That is really fucking cool. Robin Williams is one of those guys where I don't think I've ever heard a negative story about him. Basically, everybody who ever interacted with him had just positive things to say. And I think it takes a rare talent to be on all the time like that, and it probably took a massive toll on him to be on all the time like that, because you hear the stories of actors who are jerks, and some of that could be because they were being jerks, but some of it could just be because they're just being people and they don't really feel like having to deal with somebody they don't know acting presumptuous about their time that day. But Robin Williams, I've never heard a story where he was anything but kind and gracious and generous with his time to anybody who ran into him that day. Leftist Al says, oh man, I recently had to drop my favorite band and felt super betrayed because one of the people very vocal about keeping their creepy bandmate was their drummer who you'd been friendly with. Oh, that sucks. You know, I've been listening to System of a Down a lot recently, and I think it's so weird that the drummer for System of a Down is like a MAGA Trumper. Like, how are you in such a leftist band that had such radical messaging for such a long time and go and vote for Trump? I don't see it. I don't get how you do that. Anyway, this has been a bit of a ramble. I didn't have a whole lot to say about Andre Braugher, but you know, I am sad that he died. I really had fond memories of Captain Holt. Now that the show's over, I should probably go back and rewatch it and finish it, because I never finished it. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I can review it for the channel or something. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 2 p.m., so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons, with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Pistol Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.